Thank you. My name is Arlo Nasruk Davis. My parents are Joseph Davis and Martha Ramoth. My grandparents are Ralph and Emma Ramoth and Jan Fanestil and Art Davis. I grew up in Nome, Alaska, out on the coast, maybe 400 miles from here, and Selawik. Nome is a town of about 3,500 people. Selawik is a village of about 842, give or take. I caught my first caribou when I was 8 years old outside Selawik, Alaska. I was going to our downriver fish camp with my family in the summertime in a big boat. And we ran into some caribou swimming through the river. So we turned around, me and my cousin got our rifles ready, and when we were ready, we went back and we caught 2 of them. Brought them to the riverbank, pulled them up, and worked on them as a family. So where I come from, we have a very intimate relationship with knives. They are natural, normal, and essential for life. And while it's really easy to see how knives are natural and normal and essential where I come from, I believe that really all over the world, knives are natural, normal, and essential. The cutting edge of a knife is kind of mysterious to me. I think it's kind of like fire or some other natural element. The moment that you cut a piece of wood and turn one thing into 2 things at a cellular or molecular level, I don't understand it. I think it's amazing. So I caught my first caribou when I was 8. Knives are natural, normal, and essential. And the idea that I want to explain is that our conscience, our sense of right and wrong, is represented by a knife. And in that moment, we're all the same. So let me explain what I mean a little bit. A knife has 2 sides that are joined by one cutting edge. When something arises in our conscience and we remember to do something or remember to not do something, that moment when that happens is a moment in time. And we can't go back and unthink what has occurred to us. We are left with a choice of what to do about that choice that has become available to us. And that moment happens for all of us. So that's what I mean by, in that moment, we are all the same. Of course, we oftentimes disagree about what to do, or we may agree about what to do, but we may disagree on how to do it. There's lots of ways that we disagree. There are also lots of ways that we agree, though. And so what this means, this shared moment that we have that is sometimes in harmony with each other and sometimes opposed to one another. That clear identification of that moment for both of us creates a space, a clearly defined space where we can then talk about our similarities and our differences. And talking is a good thing, especially when it comes to conflict. However, sometimes that moment is wrong. Sometimes we are wrong. Which is why there's an old saying, before you do anything, make a cup of tea. Because sometimes things happen and we want to immediately do something or not do something or whatever it is. And it's important for some of those bigger things that they be questioned. Because sometimes that clear moment is right, and sometimes that clear moment needs adjustment, especially when we are talking about more than one person involved in doing any kind of big project or anything like that. But the idea is very simple. It's that a knife represents our conscience, and in that moment, we share that moment, and we're all the same. I think what this means is that it helps see the humanity in our enemies, in our friends, in our family, in people we don't know. And that by seeing that shared bit of humanity, it helps people get along. It helps me get along with other people, and that's a good thing. So, what speech about our shared humanity would be complete without a song or dance of some kind? So, here's a little tune I like to call Po Diggly.